Hello everyone, it's I, Remi-Chan, and I'm gonna have to break the veil. I'm not talking in my YouTube voice, or one of my YouTube voices, I'm just talking in my regular voice. Which, yeah, believe it or not, I actually have one. Because today is a serious topic. Well, not serious, but look, it is kind of just something I've been wanting to talk about. And with, spooky month coming up, I wanted to go over this, and, if your hair pricked up at me using the word spooky, like unapologetically, like I just did, then you already know what I'm about to say. 'Cause yeah, apparently, fucking, like, people have decided spooky, well, some small minority of people that nobody really has any reason to listen to, has decided that spooky is now a racist term because some Dutch aviators used it in the fucking 60s or earlier, and it became a racist term in America. So a bit of context in case it wasn't obvious from my accent and all that. I'm from Australia. This literally does not affect me. I'm just saying it for the people who keep doing this shit where they're like, "Hey, you can't do that because that's a racist thing now." Because white supremacists claimed it or whatever the fuck. And it's like, no, that you know what you're doing when you let white supremacists have something. You're letting them win. You're letting them steal from the very people you're pretending like you think you're protecting or like defending. All right, like obviously you don't say the N word. Okay, like obviously that's fucked because that's not our word to use. That's theirs. Like, all right, but like I'm pretty sure white people came up with spooky, and it's like it's not our word. It's like English is a clusterfuck of a language, sourced from several different nations because that's what white people do. And like don't get me wrong, like I do not like. I don't think I'm a racist. If there's anything, like I've had as much disputes with fucking dumb white people, that I have with any other race in the world. I mean, hell, I've had more fucking disputes with Europeans and especially Australians since this is where I fucking live. It's almost like the amount of like dispute you're gonna have is with the people that you live closest to, and yeah, and like it's not like it's only Australian, like white Australians. I've had Australia's a multicultural country, but yeah, I think there is a majority of white people, but I don't have any statistics on that. It doesn't matter. It's like, it's not the point. The point I'm trying to make here is that when you say, oh yeah, no, you can't use this word anymore because it's used by white supremacists and therefore it's not allowed. It's like, bro, you're giving white supremacists exactly what they want. Don't fucking do that. Like, this just goes back to, like, I mean, thankfully everyone just forgot about this after a couple years. But remember when fucking Redditors and Tumblr and fucking Tumblr shits and also Drama Tweet was going on about, like, the OK hand? If you don't even know what that is, congrats, you missed out on that shit show, and good for you. I'm really happy you did. But basically, people were saying that this a symbol that people use on Discord and shit was a flag of, oh yeah, this person's a racist because they use this, even though it just means okay. Like, it's so fucking stupid. And I actually made an art. I can't show it because it's lewd. Well, I mean, I could show the crop version, but I don't feel like it. And basically it's just this girl sweating and she's doing the okay hand because, she's having a good time. Because it also kind of has this thing where, like, it's used quite often as, like, ooh, that's good. Like, chef's kiss, mwah. That kind of thing, It's used quite a lot because, yeah, it's a very, like, it's a symbol that's been around for a long fucking time. And then suddenly in 2019, or whatever the fuck it was like, no, you can't use that because it's a racist thing now. And I just told the people saying this to fuck off. You know why I told them to fuck off? Because telling me that as a person who has no inclination to be racist, that's something I've always done, like basically since I've been a little kid, that was never racist back then, is suddenly now racist, it's just beyond stupid to me. And I will say this, completely acknowledge it's fucking retarded. And yes, I just used the R word in 2023, or whatever fucking year it is that I'm posting this, probably 2024 by the time it comes out. And, why do I say that? Well, one, I have past because I literally have a hole in my head, so fucking go suck a dick. But two, I'm using it to refer to something that has nothing to do with the people who could actually, be a target of that. Like, no one on Drama Tweet is saying this shit because they are mentally stunted. Or mentally handicapped, or whatever you want to call it. Alright? It's nothing like that. They're just fucking idiots. And that's generally how I use the word retard. And yeah, I know it's a bit, like, crude, but I'm not going to stop using it to describe people who are fucking idiots, because it's never the people who are fucking idiots who can't help it. Like, I'm always using this on people who are just fucking stupid, but in a way that they could be much smarter if they put more than 2 brain cells into fucking anything. Like, they don't have an excuse. They don't have, like, any like, fast pass to be like, oh, well, I can, like, get away with this because, you know, I'm mentally challenged. No, you're not. You might be an idiot, but that doesn't mean you're mentally challenged. It doesn't mean you have a psychological issue with your head that says, yeah, I can use this. And as someone who has, like, been, like, who has had a literal fucking tumor in their head, had it taken out, and there's a hole there now, yeah, no, I think I get a pass, but I would allow anyone else who I know to say it, as long as it's not targeting the kind of people it would actually, you know, offend. And the reason I have this policy is because, well, one, it's a slippery slope, but, like, a lot of people will be like, yeah, that's a stupid excuse, it's a straw man, no, it's not, but I'm not going to try to, like, if anyone is actually going to make that argument, they're not worth fucking arguing with. Like, don't weep for the stupid, you'll be crying all day. Secondly, there's a huge problem with, like, lines of thinking like this, because it just basically stunts one, English vernacular, and I love English, I'm a huge, like, and yeah, I know, I could easily embezzle any other word in its place, and I don't use the R word all that often, because, you know, it's not a classy word, it's just a word, but, you know, you could say, like, people who get offended about saying the word retard, might as well be getting upset about saying the word dumb, because, yeah, dumb is actually someone who can't speak properly. But no one gives a shit about that. No, they don't care about that at all. Unless they're really, really, like, crazy about this. But they've probably been laughed off the internet. So, yeah. Also, like, most of the words that we use in everyday vernacular do have some connotation with either real illness or real thing. Like, a lot of people I know who are actually autistic use the word autistic to describe their own behaviors. Not to justify anything. Just because it's a fun word to use, especially when, you know, you have it. I'm not sure if I have autism. I might have, but you gotta realize, back when I had my brain tumor, it was, 30 years ago now. Like, I was 5 when this happened. So, autism didn't really have nearly as much documentation on it as it does now, and the tests were much more primitive. So I might have it. I've definitely got, autism adjacent behavior, but even if I didn't, like, I would still probably use the word to describe it when I have, like, an autistic moment. Like, yeah, I mean, you know, we all have those things, we all have our OCD moments. I don't think it's a problem to say those. I never heard anyone complain to me, like, oh, don't use OCD like that, that's and, like, the thing about this is that it takes visibility away from the people who are actually affected by these issues. Because the people who, like, tell you, oh, you can't say retarded, that's offensive to me, the person who isn't retarded. But I have friends who are, yeah, here's the thing, you're just being a fucking attention whore, alright? I don't think your friend fucking cares. Because, one, I'm not speaking to them and telling them they're retarded, and if I am, sorry. But I really am usually not, you know, that insensitive. I can be abrasive, don't get me wrong, especially the people who piss me off, like the little whiners who fucking find any reason to complain about, you know, my vernacular. Because, yeah, I am pretty blunt. I'm from Australia, and that's not an excuse, but I'm just saying that will, you know, growing up here will give you a bit of a, you know, a vocabulary. Like, in school, we're just taught that rang is, like, a fine term to call it, you know, a person with red hair. Like, redhead. Is it offensive? Probably. I don't fucking know. But, no one ever really, like, I never bullied gingers. I mean, I don't think I even used the word ranger that much, because I just didn't know many redheads. I didn't have a problem with redheads. Like, it's just, it's so stupid. But yeah, the point I was getting to here is that by, you know, trying to get on this high horse of, use the word retard because, you have a problem with, you know, retarded people. You're being, like, ableist or whatever the fuck it is. It's like, bitch, I'm on the disability pension. I am disabled. I have type 5 osteoporosis. I have so many disabilities. If I was an ableist, I'd be my own worst enemy. Shut the fuck up. And, like, even people who are completely mentally and, like, physically fit, I wouldn't have an issue if they used the word retarded, so long as it wasn't aimed at people who were literally, like, diagnosed with, you know, whatever the scientific term is. I'm not going to say what I think it is, because I'm probably wrong, and it might sound weird. But basically, like, anyone who's actually, like, diagnosed as being retarded, they're not going to be the person I'm saying this to. I'm going to be saying it to the people who have nothing wrong with them, and who are just being dumb fucking dipshits, like virtually all of Drama Tweet is all the time. So yeah, and Reddit. Like, Reddit is fucking stupid too. Like, there's always that crowd, and you're just, the best, I'm just warning everyone who's, like, getting on this spooky thing and taking it seriously, don't bother. It's not worth it. It's gonna be forgotten in, like, a year or two, and everyone will go back to saying spooky, and honestly, just ignore it. Like, if someone gets on your case about it, just ignore them. Because they're just trying to insert themselves into your life in a way that's invasive and stupid and incredibly petty. Because they want the spotlight. They want to be seen as a morally superior dickhead. And, you know, want to take someone else down a peg while they're doing it. Because that's how they're fucking pathetic. That's how pathetic their lives are. That they actually think that winning a moral debate that isn't even a moral debate on the internet actually makes them cool. Yeah, no, that's fucking pathetic. You wanna fucking do something with, like, if you don't want to do anything with your lives, at least don't drag the rest of us down with it, you fucking pathetic losers. It's so fucking dumb. So yeah, no, like, don't fall for this shit. It's just Tumblr shit. Like, again, Tumblr shit won't ever really die. It'll just take different phases. And, like, thankfully, it's really easy to ignore because people learned a while ago that it's mostly just ridiculous and not worth, like, really giving much attention to. Like, if it's about real issues, or if someone is actually bullying someone who's retarded by calling them retarded, yeah, by all means, snap their fucking neck. But generally speaking, one, there's pretty much no way for you to know on the internet because it's the fucking internet. Two, if you are not retarded and you're offended that someone's saying the R word, I'm just gonna say it here, and I know this is gonna get, like, every Tumblr shit who actually watches this video on my throat, but I don't fucking care. Grow a fucking spine. Like, I know I'm in a position to just deal with this shit, because I grew up on the internet, and it was like 2007 or something. This shit didn't exist. Well, it did, but it was, like, so remote, it didn't really matter. Like, I was bullied on the internet, but you know what I did? I just took the L's and rose up, and I learned to take a fucking comment. Because, yeah, people called me all kinds of nasty things. I mean, like, people told me to kill myself, people told me, stop doing, like, this thing where you make games, I hate you, yada yada. Like, it's internet, bro. Someone is always gonna hate you. The best way to rise up above that and be better is just not fucking cow to it, not believe any of it, just ignore it. Because generally speaking, these people are not, like, the opinions of other people are just not worth the hassle, especially if you don't even fucking know them. Like, if a good friend of yours tells you that, you know, something that's a bit shitty, yeah, that can hurt. But generally speaking, any of these fucking idiots on Drama Tweet are probably people who are correcting you out of the blue, who don't know you, who you don't know. Just ignore them, or just tell them to fuck off. But usually they're looking to get a rise out of you, or at least they're looking to prove themselves morally superior. So the best thing, really, the way to get under skin the best is just ignore them. And inform the people who, you know, are, like, in your friends group, who they might also go after, just to keep clear of them and just do the same. And, you know, like, I will go on Twitter and say, in responses, because I have seen it come up a few times in my Twitter feed. I'm like, wait, what? That's a thing? That's a thing that's happening? Are people stupid? And mostly the responses are, yeah, no, it's just Drama Tweet being silly again. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that checks. Because, yeah, Drama Tweet, you're not ever going to be taken seriously. Get over it. You're so fucking stupid. And Drama Tweet, by the way, isn't really a particular thing. It's just the drama on Twitter. And generally speaking, it's completely ridiculous. And, yeah. I mean, Drama Tweet is just dramatic, like, overdone bullshit on Twitter. There's real shit on Twitter. Don't get me wrong. But mostly Drama Tweet is just people being really dramatic about fucking nothing, like this whole absurd kerfuffle is spooky. Like, yeah. Now, like, there's obviously a line to draw. Like, when something, but, like, the main thing is, and this was a huge, like, point that was made often in the earlier years, back before everyone went completely fucking silly about this shit. A slur is only a slur if it's used as a slur, alright? Like, if I call someone who is completely, like, capable mentally a retard, it's not a slur. It's just an insult. Does it detract from the visibility of people who are genuinely retarded? No, because it's not aimed at them. Like, this whole thing only takes you about 10 seconds to think about before you realize, oh wow, yeah, no, this is completely bogus and stupid. Like, I'm using Spooky Month as a way to call Halloween the Spooky Month. You know, the definition it's had in the dictionary for 500 plus fucking years. Not the one thing the Dutch did that I didn't even know about and doesn't affect me because I don't live in the fucking US or the Netherlands or anywhere near Dutch territories. I live in fucking Australia. But even if you live in America, like, no, it's... If you're using it to refer to the spooky holiday, that has nothing to do with racism or any of that stuff, no, it's fine. Like, it's nothing to worry about. Now, if you're using it to... If you're using, like, this, like, calling black people spooky in a way that is obviously intended to, you know, get them upset, yeah, no, they're allowed to get pissed off. But generally speaking, most black people aren't even really going to remember this, because it happened fucking years ago. Years and years ago. Like, yeah, and... But again, like, just, you know, if it's not used as a slur, it's not a slur. Like, go fuck yourself. Again, there's some exceptions to this, because using the N-word, again, that's, like, just using that word is considered a sin of just stealing, which is something white people do a lot. Like, most of our words are stolen from other languages, and, you know, that's just, we became multicultural, but it also came with the cost of us being kind of huge thieves in the process, without any and a lot of the time we didn't respect the cultures we took the words from. We just inserted into our language, because like, oh, that sounds neat. Like, a good example is the Italian word cello. No one ever gets upset about this one, because there's no other word for that instrument, and Italians don't care. Like, when is the last time an Italian has ever been offended by a stereotype? I mean, beyond the Peru, but most of the people actually getting offended about that were white people. So, like, people who weren't Italian, but just regular fucking white people, American trash. Like, yeah, there's this whole, like, circle of people who really like the feeling of being morally validated on really, like, pretentious and nothing matters. And my advice, again, just ignore them, because they're not worth the headache, or, like, and if you listen to them, they're gonna keep getting away with it. They're gonna keep, you know, trying to limit what you can and can't say, when there's absolutely no reason to abide by that, because unless you're using it in a way that is designed to hurt or, you know, offend someone, like, that is actually in the demographic of people who could actually be offended by it, then no, it's not a big deal, at all. Like, so unless, like, you're using it to actually hurt, and using it, again, as a slur, it's not a slur. It's nothing to worry about. These people are just being, well, retarded. They are being retarded. And again, there's nothing mentally wrong with these people. They're just lonely and terminally online. And I say as someone who is not terminally online, despite all appearances. I mean, this is my first fucking VTuber vid since, like, in weeks. I mean, I do streams, but, like, just a VTuber standalone vid, I haven't done one of these in ages. Because I have to have I actually have to have a topic that's worth talking about for a decent amount of time, that I actually know, like, I can, like, stand up there and give my opinion and not feel bad about it. Because there's been times I've started making videos like this, and, like, usually what happens is, it's about my games, right? Like, about my characters or something, and things I like about them. But I'm like, wait, no one else is going to be interested in this. So I was like, yeah, no, I won't bother posting that one. And usually I put the music over the top later, but now I'm just playing the music, as I record. Like, this is all just raw recording. This is all ad-lib. None of this is scripted or planned. I just actually, like, have had to think about this a lot. Because, yeah, as a content creator myself, I have to go through the motions of thinking, okay, is this worth taking seriously? The majority of cases, no, it isn't. Like, I did actually stop myself saying the R word at all for a while, but I'm like, why am I doing this? This is so dumb. Like, people who are getting offended by this word are usually people with nothing wrong with them mentally. And if they, and like, because I never aim it at people who actually, who I know actually have something wrong with them. And if they say, so, look, dude, I am actually, like, they're usually really cool about it. They're like, dude, I know it's a fun word to say, but I am actually, like, mentally stunted. I have a diagnosis. Like, I've been, like, this way since a while. I get it's just a fun word to say, but, you know, like, just chill it out. I'm like, yeah, no, that's completely fair. That's completely fair. Like, you ask me, like, you tell me, like, you know, you don't have to prove it to me. I'll just take your word for it, because I don't want to be a dick. Even though a lot of people are going to think after this video, wow, Remy just wants to be a dick about nothing. No, I genuinely am just getting annoyed at seeing this on my Twitter feed. It's not going to stop, but I'm just letting everyone know. Like, the point of this video is to let people know that, no, this is not worth fussing over. This is not a big deal. It's just going to be another episode of Drama Tweet trying to pass through some bogus bullshit that takes visibility away from the people who actually suffered because of this, because they want a moral, like, they want their fucking a dopamine hit from moral high ground. That's all Drama Tweet really is, as far as I see it. And I've been on Twitter for 12 fucking years by this point. It's not going away, but it's not gonna change anything. Because, yeah, like, it's silly. And again, it's just like, people just have way too much free time. Like, I make games, so me even doing this video is pretty unusual, but I finished the other demo I was making, and now I'm just waiting again. So I kind of have a bit more free time. I mean, yeah, this is between an art exhibition where I'm basically working a full work week, being on the floor and talking to fans and other artists and stuff. But I'm home from that early today because it's a Saturday, so it's not open the whole day, and that's why we're here. Anyway, that's everything. I just wanted to get that off my chest and let you all know that, no, this ain't worth worrying about it. Like, it's not a big deal. Someone from Australia who only just learned about this, like, recently. I mean, I saw people saying you can't use the word spooky anymore, and I'm like, that sounds like bullshit. And then today I got the expose on why, and I'm like, yeah, okay, no, that's definitely bullshit. So yeah. Now, don't try, like, calling black people spookies. That would go over poorly, I think. Because that would be seen as, you know, actually you intending to be racist or offend. But, you know, if you're just calling it Spooky Month and stuff, that's not a problem. Like, and, like, calling Halloween spooky or Spooktober, no, again, not a problem. Like, anyone who says it is a juvenile, a twat, and probably has way too much free time, and, is way too eager to get a dopamine hit from a moral debate. Just ignore them, because that will hurt them the most. And because it would just mean you don't have to deal with their bullshit. And if they keep at it, just block them. Like, they're the kind of people that won't be missed. Like, you won't miss them at all. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been Remi-Chan. And now I'm going to go out. Ta-da! Oh, whoops, I pressed the wrong button. Oh, I'm so bad at this. Okay, here we go. Ta-da!